I'm going to show you guys how to set up a cabinet configuration for your speakers. So like finding the right speakers so you end up with the right impedance, or otherwise known as ohms. Ohms and impedance means the same thing. So speakers generally they come in either 4 ohms, 8 ohms, 16 ohms, or 32 ohms. And when you combined multiple speakers, like you wire two of them together, it's going to change that impedance. So it can change it depending on how you wire them. For example, if you wire them in series, like two 8 ohm cabinets or two 8 ohm speakers wired in series is going to be 16 ohms. But two speakers wired in parallel is going to be 4 ohms. And let me show you how this works and what all that means anyway. So series means you're going. So these are resistors. They're big resistors, and I just put a red and a black to represent positive and negative, like a speaker, you know. So in series, you would wire the two speakers like this. You put the positive to the negative, and then the amp you'd wire it like one speaker, positive and negative on the outside, and that would be series wiring. Now in parallel, you would wire them up like this. You'd connect the positive and positive and the negative and negative, and then you'd put your amp positive and negative, and that's parallel if all these were being connected. Let me just show you with my multimeter here to verify. I'm going to put it to ohms. And these are 8 ohm resistors, so as you can see, it should be about 8 ohms. Not perfectly because my meter's off, and probably the resistors are off a little bit too. That one's actually showing an impedance of 10. There we go, 8.2. And then this one, it's about 8.3. So they're about 8 ohms. And speakers will be the same way. It's not going to be exactly 8 ohms. It's going to be about 8 ohms or 4 ohms or 16 ohms, whatever you have. So now let me verify. Let's wire them in series. So I would connect these two in the middle and connect this on the outside. And then this will change to 16 ohms. And there we go. You can see on my meter there, it was 16 ohms. And that's in series. Now, for parallel, let's do that. Parallel. See, it's 8 right now. And then we'll do it in parallel. I got some connectors here. There we go. The negative to the negative, and now positive to the positive, and you'll see it'll change right here to, should be 4 if I get a good connection. Okay, there. It's about 4. It's not exactly 4 because, like I say, my meter's off and these resistors are probably not too accurate too, but it's about 4. It's supposed to be 4. Now, let me show you the formula for this in case you don't have a multimeter like me and you just have your buy-in speakers. So, show you what you're going to get. If you want series, you have, so in my case, I have an 8 ohm speaker or resistor plus another 8 ohm speaker equals 16 ohms. So, and this is series. So, if you want to get 16 ohms, if your speaker or if your guitar amp needs 16 ohms, then you want to get 8 ohm, like two 8 ohm speakers, put them together in series, and you'll get 16 ohms. Now, What happens in parallel? So parallel, you do the same thing. You go 8 plus 8, that equals 16. And then you take that number, you take 16, and you divide that by 4. And that will give you 4. You always divide it by 4. It's like part of the formula, you know. So say I had a 2 4-ohm speakers, and that equaled 8 ohms. You would still divide it by 4, no matter what the impedance is. Okay, and let's put that theory to the test. Okay, so we have right now. Oh wait, we just did. Yeah, we did that already, right? I wanted to do a weird one. So yeah, in series it's 4 ohms. So let's do a weird one. Let's do an 8 ohm speaker with a 4 ohm speaker. So this would be, you get 8 ohms, right? Plus 4 ohms would equal 12, right? And now, so that would be in series. So an 8 ohm speaker plus a 4 ohm speaker would give you an impedance of 12 if it's wired in series. And then if you wire that in parallel, then you take that 12 and you divide that by 4, and that would give you 3. Now let's put that to the test. Does that really do that, you know? Let's see. So I got, these are already wired in parallel. So that, what does that give me again? That gives me 4 ohms. And so this is basically a 4 ohm speaker right here, the way it's wired. And then this would be a 8 ohm. This is 8 ohms. So we got the 8 ohms plus the 4 ohms. And let's wire that in parallel. Oops. So basically all the positives connect to the positive, all the negatives connect to the negative. Okay, so now I got this 8 ohms wired in parallel with the 4 ohms. And let's see if that gives me about 3 ohms like I'm supposed to. Yep, it's about 3. So there we go. So yeah, that's the formula for you. Pretty simple formula. Just remember, series is, let me get all this stuff off so we can go back over it. Okay, so series is wired like this. You're going to wire the negative and positive together. And parallel, you're going to wire it like this. The 2 positives and the 2 negatives would be wired together. And your formula for series is whatever the speaker is plus whatever the speaker is equals whatever it is. You know, 8 plus 8 is 16. And then the parallel, you just take that number and you divide it by 4. And that will give you the impedance to any configuration you want. All right. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.